Welcome to another episode of Discover Harmony, Florida. I'm Kristin Macari, and I'm here with your host,
Jeanine Corcoran, broker for Corcoran Connect, a real estate company.
And it is that time of the month again. Let's talk about what happened in the real estate market in Harmony in March of 2022.
Well, the first thing I noticed, I don't know if you did, in the Enclave, because that's the new community in Harmony behind the gates where you're moving into, and basically those sales are not showing up. The one that I did in February showed up, but the rest of them, I know there's like at least three more.
Right.
And I heard there's one today. But they're not showing up even on county records, so I couldn't get any stats on that. So
yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious to see what happens. I mean, listen, we've had a lot of struggles out there with trying to have things show up. So I'm not surprised that the sales are also not showing up yet. And I guess if realtors were involved and they're not putting them in MLS, then it's hard for us to pull them up that way too. So you're right. I don't see anything. There's literally only one other house showing as closed in the MLS for March of 2022. I know there were a few more than that. So
yeah. So I don't have them on the report. So they'll always, I guess, have to lag behind.
Right.
Until they get recorded. Interesting though. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Hopefully they'll get caught up.
Because here we are, like the middle of April. You think by now the county would have it.
At least the first half of March or something.
Yeah,
like
a few.
My neighbor closed in March for sure. So.
Well, that Enclave, that's a whole nother story at the end. Stay tuned. There's the cliffhanger.
Let me tell you the tea. Okay. So what happened in the rest of Harmony?
So in Harmony, right now in Harmony, there are 9 actives and there's 66 pendings. And that doesn't include the new build, like the builders who just have people walk in and have their own sales. That doesn't include in that. We don't know how many pending are in that. So that number could be skewed a little. But as far as Ashley Park, the condos and the townhouses, we had three sold the past month, and the price per square foot was $150, $152. So those prices in Ashley Park, for all you who own condos and townhouses, those prices are rising. Right. They're catching up to the rest of the market, and they're rising pretty good, which is awesome.
Well, they didn't have, for a while there, we didn't have any available.
No, we had no sales.
So there was nothing to compare it to. There was nothing to get them sold, so there was nothing really there. So that's great that they're showing up and you're seeing that they're experiencing similar appreciation values too.
Yeah. Real happy. We sold one this month, so it's going to be a next month's report, but had a difficult time trying to figure out where to price it because nothing had sold since the beginning of the year. Right. Last year. Right. 2021. Right. So, that was an appraisal call and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, so they were 3, which is good, with the price per square foot at $150, $152. And in the resale end, we had, I should have counted them, not that many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. We had 8 and the resale end, and they came out to $178.66 a square foot. And remember, folks, generally a one-story will get more price per square foot. And I had this conversation with someone. This is why price per square foot is not always a good indicator. Thank you. Yeah. I was going to think of the word. Yeah, because you can't go by that. No. I mean, the appraiser does use it for adjustment on the square footage. Right. But you can't look, this one sold for, $220 a square foot. That's what my house is worth. This one sold for, so I get that all the time. And that's why we actually list the price per square foot, is because I know that people look at price per square foot. Right.
They want to know. They're looking at it. They care about it. But it's, and it's just another metric, but it's not the metric.
It's not the metric.
Yeah.
But anyway, so generally, the smaller the house, square footage, the higher the square foot. That's one. Mm-hmm. Single stories get more price per square foot. Mm-hmm. And
yep.
Yeah. So anyway, interesting fact.
But yeah, that's great to see. I mean, that's nice. We had 8 sales, you said, in the resales, which feels like a little bit more than last month. I don't even remember the exact numbers for last month, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, that seems a little bit better.
A little bit more. Yeah, we're starting to see, and it was interesting. I was listening to a podcast last night. Well, actually, it wasn't a podcast. It was YouTube, a very statistics driven YouTube, and he was going over the numbers, and he's saying April and May, even across the country, that's when you're going to see a lot more listings. So that should give the buyers a little bit more opportunity, right? So that's good. That's good, because we have quite a bit, a lot of buyers. So
right. Absolutely.
So then we go on to the lakes. Let's not forget the people in the lakes. Yeah. So we have South Lake and East Lake, and we had only 4 sales, but that's good. Yeah. The prices there are still gone up. $210.78 price per square foot. And I think almost all the homes there are single stories, or there might be a couple that have bonus rooms upstairs.
Right.
Right? Because I think one of the original models had a bonus room.
Yep.
And 1 or 2 houses, but most of them are single stories. So that's what they're coming in at 210, 70, 80 square foot, which is great. And then you have custom homes?
I do. Custom homes. There were 3 custom homes sold, and those came out to $160.50 a square foot. So actually, the big guy on the corner finally sold.
Okay. And that changes the number a little, right?
Does.
Again, we talked about more square footage, less
Yeah.
less on the price per square foot. So what did that come out price per square foot?
So that particular one came out to $130.02 a square foot, whereas the other 2 were $176.88 and $174.60. So that one did kind of bring the numbers overall down, but it is a Mac Daddy of a house.
Oh yeah.
And
everyone knows which house it is. We've been
know it.
waiting a long time. I think he had 10 realtors sell.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, so we're happy that there's a family in there
Yes,
because it's right around
absolutely.
the corner from me.
Yep, and it's 6,345 square feet. That's a big house. So that's substantially bigger than the 2,500 and 2,200 square foot homes, that sold as well in that category. So it definitely makes a difference on it. So that's kind of why it's a little bit skewed, but that's great. I'm really excited. Welcome, new family. So glad to have you.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then we have Harmony West, our sister brother neighborhood next door. I don't know what's going to happen when we get all the surrounding. I might have to just separate everyone out
Right.
but I just feel like right now I feel like they're the orphan children.
Right.
Not in any way in the community or whatnot.
Like in a negative way.
No,
just,
not in a negative way, but I just kind of felt like, oh, we have a Harmony West, I should include them. So probably most of the people in this Harmony maybe they don't care.
Right.
I know in the beginning when the builders were building, it definitely was something that we watched because if there were properties available there, we would have to know,
Right.
what was available. But they actually came up pretty high too. They're not as high as the lakes, but they only had 2 sales, and both of them they look like brand new sales, and they're both 2021 and 2022, and at $206.85 a square foot.
Right. That's good. Good to see things are going up and selling in harmony and great things to come. It definitely, you can feel the change in the air, if you will.
Exactly. So folks, be on the lookout for more houses coming on the market. I know I have 2 or 3 coming on, and Chris has one in our office, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But tell me, you got a CTC.
Yes. The 3 magic words everyone wants to hear when they're buying a home. We are clear to close.
Woohoo!
By the time this podcast airs, actually, it'll probably be the day before our closing, Lord willing. But it's been a fun experience. First, we were waiting on windows. We got windows in right after I complained about not having windows on the podcast. Then we were waiting. We were missing a whole AC unit for the second story, and that magically came in.
Yeah, that came in yesterday. That was good. Yeah.
I was
so
really
happy.
getting anxious about that one. But so then our latest, I think our biggest thing we have things that are missing still, but I'm not too worried about those. But the biggest thing right now is there's no internet
or cable.
There's nothing. Not a thing. There's nothing. And the poor very first residence closed at the end of February.
Yeah, February 28th, Don and Rachel closed. They were our first closing, the first residence in there. And I tell you what, those folks are real troopers. But I do feel bad for them because we've had to, and really they had to. The first thing is, you go to closing, you usually get a remote, with your key. And then we didn't get a remote. And I'm like, okay, where's the remote? So I called HOA, and Mark Hills was great. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll check into it. But meanwhile, here's a gate code. Okay, still no remotes. Now they just heard they're only getting 1 remote, and they're getting charged $50 for a second remote, which personally I think is ridiculous. But
you should at least get 2.
You should at least get 2.
You should get 2. Why would there not be? Okay, well then that's another. I didn't know that's brand new information.
Sorry, now I'm telling Kristin. Yes, I just found that out yesterday.
Brand new information, and that is not okay. And so we'll fix that. I'm gonna fix that. That's somehow not okay. Not okay.
The other thing was they didn't have. They couldn't get mail.
Yes. Oh, we're recognized by the post office now.
Yeah,
because
they fixed it.
They did.
Yeah, and let me give credit to Don and Rachel because they fixed it.
Yes.
Okay, and meanwhile they had to go down to the post office pick up mail. They were the first residents. I called them. I said, "You're just the guinea pigs. I mean, you're doing it for all the other residents."
Right. And I appreciate you, Don and Rachel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing
absolutely.
that. Because I am very glad that I was not the first one, because I'm not a very pleasant person to deal with when I'm inconvenienced. So
Then they didn't have street lights, but they're coming? Or
they came.
Oh, they came.
They
So
were
street
on the
lights,
other
okay,
night. They
okay.
were on the
Oh,
my
okay,
neighbor.
so it's not
he
dark
said,
anymore.
No, he said actually he was like, I came home and I was like, is it daytime out? And he opened his front door and it was like they were
the lights right in
spotlights.
front.
So apparently they're very bright. LED.
Are they not dark
They
sky?
are they're dark sky. They come down,
they're
but
light.
they're very bright.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So anyway, I haven't seen them myself. You know, maybe it's just the juxtaposition of normally going out there and it's pitch black and
And
you
no
know,
garbage.
no garbage.
Didn't know that either. Accused me on the camera. He's like, no garbage. Well, apparently they're on the route. They got the garbage cans, but the garbage man can't make it through there because of all the trucks and the...
I don't know if you can hear Q, but he just said no.
That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. And there is a minor solution, but I'm not gonna say it on the air. So I'll tell you after. But anyway, so they do have garbage cans of garbage. People are aware, but they can't get through the streets because of the
construction. I will say that I think by the time we close, there should only be a handful
should
of
be able to get down
houses
the street.
left. So there's some that are across the street from us that'll probably cause some problems, but the worst of it, which is I think the houses that they're trying to get closed right now, that should all be kind of flushed out by the time we move in, I think.
Right.
Please. Oh, dear God, please.
So we're getting updates on the cable hour by hour. Poor Don and Rachel have been in the house since February 28th with no cable and internet. And they have kids.
That's 6 weeks.
That's 6 weeks.
Maybe 7. I'm not sure.
And everyone's been notified.
Right.
You know, through the list. But a few days ago, we did talk to one of the head cheeses there, Deb Martin, and she wasn't aware, and but the head of construction was aware. So I don't know how she wasn't aware. Anyway, but they're working on it. But I tell you what, this girl can't close without internet because they do national accounts, and that's a livelihood.
That's how I plan to pay my mortgage.
Yeah,
So North
they'll be
Point
going
mortgage.
in with the first mortgage payment overdue.
Yeah.
North
Point, if you can help out and fix in any way, Ryan, Mitch, anybody want to jump on the bandwagon and make sure we get internet so I can pay my mortgage, that would be really great.
Yeah, hopefully the mortgage people aren't listening. Then they'll be like, what?
Right.
What are we talking about? Yeah. So that's been a problem. So I hope that gets solved because as more and more people go in there, I think their voices will get loud. The reason why they're not getting loud right now is because Don and Rachel have been pretty much updating people as they come in. And I gave them a closing basket and I said to them, now you got to pass that along to everyone. So I think they have.
Have they really?
Yeah, he said he passed it along to the next and said that they have to pass it along to the next person. Now I don't know I don't think they took the basket items. They probably filled it with something else. Right. But I thought that was kind of a neat idea.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So it's going to be a happy place.
I don't know who's
when
after us.
settled.
Yeah, I am. Listen, my neighbors, I have the best neighbors in the world. I'm so excited. That was probably one of the biggest fears that I had was buying in a new community. You don't get to go and you don't see who's living. You don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, is this going to be a good place I'm going to enjoy? Right. I have the best neighbors.
So when you're looking at your house, is the neighbor to the right?
Both. I love the people to the left, too.
I haven't seen them yet.
No, you haven't met them. But the gentleman on the right, absolutely wonderful, Juan, his family. And I'm so excited. We're already planning a Memorial Day block party because we're all going to need it by the time Memorial Day rolls around. And, you
don't have a park or anything, right? But you have open
not
space.
Really. But listen, if enough of us put our yards together.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You just put cones in the street.
Yeah. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. Yeah. It'll be good.
We did that in the back of the house. We closed off the back road because we were all...
If you're all participating, then nobody really cares. So so we're excited about that. We're just, really grateful, looking forward to moving in with them. If we can get the internet sorted out and garbage, we're going to have to get on that. And Q's having heart palpitations right now. I think he just fell out of a chair. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's all good.
It'll all work out.
It will. It does every time. Every time. I have like 5 boxes packed.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 5 left.
No. I've packed 5. Every time she comes by the house, she's like, "So did you pack yet?" No.
I know. And you're going. I know.
You'll be. I have a whole week that I'll be
busy,
tied up that we can't pack.
So I'm just going over and packing your girls and getting them in.
Yeah, that sounds.
You have a painter set up?
I do, but it's the week that we're tied up too. So it'll be right before we move in. So we might have to move some stuff in before we take,
Yeah,
do
just
our
put it
big
in,
project.
Put it in the
and
middle of the floor or something.
yeah. And then poor Angel will have to go.
Oh, so you use Angel's painting?
Yes,
Okay.
Angel's painting.
So
Everybody
shout
knows.
out to Angel. Everyone
Shout
knows
out
Angel in Harmony.
Yeah. Listen, I have one of those 2-story ceilings. I am not painting. I can't do it. It'll take me 10 years
You
to
weren't
paint that
planning on
house.
painting, were you?
Well, I thought like I'd be cheap and paint it myself. But you know how long that would take me? Painting's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah.
I have pictures of Rachel when she painted our house.
Right.
Child labor. I think she was like in middle school. That's how long ago it was,
Yeah.
like 2016 or something like that.
Well, you can always have Angel out to repaint it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So,
Great painter. So we'll have to do a shout out for him. But
anyway,
they can find this report as always on our website, the Corcoran Connect. CorcoranConnect.com, and just go into communities, Harmony, and the report's right there, and you can see, year-end reports, monthly reports, always up to date.
Right. And
yeah,
check it out.
definitely.
We'll have it linked in the podcast description too, so you could just click on it. So if you want to follow
great.
along as we're talking, you can see the houses that we're talking about. But it's, it was a great month. I mean, it seems like things are kind of, like typical, moving along. So hopefully,
And with the interest rates are up.
Yep, interest rates are up.
In the fives.
Right. Which was another thing that like gave me
Heart attack, heart palpitations.
Listen, I just need to be closed. Give me housing security and I will feel so much better. And then I'll find something else to be obsessive over.
She doesn't get it from me. Definitely not.
No.
I'm way more laid back.
No. But anyway, so thanks so much for joining us today, guys. As always, you can find us on pretty much every platform that you listen to your podcast. We're also actually on Amazon now. I don't know if you know that. Amazon and Facebook. Did you know that they added an option to listen to podcasts on Facebook on your phone, like on the app?
How did you find that out? Because all of a sudden one day I just saw it and I was like, how did that get on Facebook?
I don't know. I was
So it's just a link on when you're uploading it onto the
so now it automatically
Amazon?
syndicates.
I didn't know Amazon
Yeah,
had
apparently
podcasts.
Amazon has podcasts too. Listen, you could find us if you
Wherever
can't find
you
us.
listen.
Let me know because I want to know where we're missing. So
Yeah.
let us know where you're.
So people that don't have iPhones, they do like Spotify or something like that.
You could do Spotify.
But now you have Amazon and you have Facebook.
Yep.
And then we always post a video that comes like
YouTube.
But it's always like a week or so after the original podcast or something like that. But which is great too. A lot of people just watch that.
Right. So listen, you can find us anywhere. Let us know if there's a platform out there that we're not on and you want us to be on. We will go ahead and get that added. And I guess if that's it. So
if you have ideas, right?
Yeah, if you have any ideas for things you want to hear about Harmony, St. Cloud, anything like that, you can call 1-844-St. Cloud, STCLOUD, or email us at discoverharmonyflorida@gmail.com, and I'll leave those in the description as well.
Okay, sounds